Yes, sir. This is my father's personal truck. It's a 2003 Kenworth W900L, Viper red in color. My father purchased it brand new in 2002 from Tulsa Kenworth. And, just a couple custom features. We put a two-piece Valley Chrome bumper on it, custom made at Valley Chrome, just kind of give it the old school look. Real Life Customs Chase Shiver hooked us up with a neat little bow tie visor. It's a 550 6NZ single turbo C15 Caterpillar, backed with a 18-speed transmission, 335 gear ratio. Wheelbase is 270, all factory. 72-inch aero cab. It's got the bunk beds. It's got a top bunk, and on the bottom we've got a futon couch. So in the daytime you can have a couch, and the bottom just pull it down, put some sheets on it, and you got a big nice bed. I graduated college last May, and I've been on the road full time ever since. We've been in the trucking industry since 1954. My grandfather, James Ray Pope, founded the business, so to be celebrating going on 61 years, to be a third generation owner, there's a lot of pride in that. To start off with, my father, he was my best friend, my rock, my soul, of course my mentor and hero in all facets of life. He passed away and fought a battle of lung and bone cancer for over 2 years. We lost him in July of 2011, and to pay homage and tribute to him, he always liked nice trucks, so we wanted to take his truck and one of our nicer trailers in the fleet, pair them together and start showing off a tribute to my dad. So me and my mother sat down one day, Chris, and we just said, what can we do to be different and show that this man was one of a kind? And he was an individual. And Dad always liked mural trucks. He liked the old school kind of feel to him. So we sought after an airbrush artist that's a legend in Texas. His name is Otto Dickey. His company is called Airbrush by Vaughn Auto. He's located in Waco. And I just called him up one day and told him what a fan Dad was of his work, what a fan I was of his work, and is there any way we could work something out and do a tribute to Dad? And Otto's a great Christian man. He was on board from the get-go, and Mother and I just sat down. We gave him a couple ideas of what we wanted with the mural, kind of a desert theme. Told him we wanted the 5-truck stagecoach, of course number 17 leading out front, and just kind of tossed in a couple artifacts of my father's legacy in life, his interests, his hobbies, what he was passionate about, and let him go. He just started this trailer, Chris, with no sketch, no chalk marks, just all original, just up here in his beautiful brain. He just took an airbrush up and just started with the sky. Then he started with the rocks, and he's got over 500 man hours in this mural. And the best that we can estimate, it's got over 1,000 hidden images in the sky, rocks, scenery. It's really a Otto Dickey trademark. This man's a genius, and he lets his work speak for himself. You know, he doesn't do a whole lot of promotion. Very humble man, great Christian man, and we were blessed to bring him on board to give my dad a one-of-a-kind tribute, because he was a one-of-a-kind man. He was a handshake, and a man's word is his bond. We just kind of wanted to give it an old school feel, kind of like the way the America used to work. A lot of names are hidden all through this mural, like my nieces, nephews, of course all 3 of my dad's children, myself, John, David, Julie, my mother, Joy. There's a lot of hidden names, a lot of people that were dear to my father's heart, and a lot of people that contributed to this wonderful mural. Like you'll find Joy, Addison, Julie, Ricky. There's all kinds of hidden names in the rocks, in the shrubbery, and of course in the sky. And another thing that Vaughn does so well, just picks up on, is all the hidden images, like the animals in the rocks. You just see it going down I-10 or something, you're like, hey, that's an awesome mural. But if you feel beside me at the TA or at a truck show, you catch one hidden image and it just draws you in. And that's kind of like I've said before, a Vaughn Auto trademark. The man is a genius, and he's always prided himself on being able to hide. It's a beautiful piece of art rolling down the highways and byways of this country, but when you get to see it on display at a beautiful truck show like the Dynaflex Shootout here, it really brings it to life. I guess you could say I was my father's right-hand man from, as he would say, knee-high to a grasshopper. 5 years old. I was on his coattails everywhere we went. We'd go trucking together. Of course, he bought and sold produce for many years to cafes, convenience stores, major grocery store chains, and mom and pop grocery stores as well. And I followed him around, taking the produce orders, driving the trucks to the produce house, manually loading all the produce, going through with the pallet jack, loading for each stop, unloading, just the way he engaged people. He always made people feel special. He addressed them by their first name. He never just tried to make anyone feel anything less than important. He was a great man, and he taught me how to be a man. He taught me how to deal with people and how to succeed in this industry. And at his height, before he got sick, we were up to 35 trucks strong, all new late model equipment, a lot of compliancy in our fleet, and doing just well. And cancer happened, put it all in God's hands. He's in a lot better place now, and we miss him, but we just try to carry on his old school way of thoughts. My father sent one text message in his life. He sent probably 3 emails. If he couldn't shake your hand, engage you face to face, or call you on the phone, then he didn't think it was a valid business deal. That was just the kind of man David Pope was. All Popes before him, the most education they'd ever had was a high school diploma. It was his dream for all 3 of his children to have a BBA in any facet of industry we wanted. First being my oldest brother, John. He got his business degree in management. My sister, Julie, she got a degree in history. And on top of that, once she graduated with a BBA in history, she went and furthered her education, got a paralegal. She became a paralegal, and now she's a great paralegal in the DFW Metroplex. And then I'm the youngest, and I want to just complete Dad's dream. I mean, that's something you can't ever take away from a man. Someone that works so hard to put his kids through school, to give them an education so they don't have to do what he did. They don't have to work as hard. They can start out, making a good salary and a good living. And I attended Tarleton State in Stephenville, kind of a laid-back cowboy school, and I majored in business management as well. And upon graduation, it's just a passion. You can't get away from it. These trucks, it's like a healthy drug. You can't get enough of them. If you're born with that passion and that instillment, you can't get away. I've tried to look at other jobs, desk jobs, other jobs in maybe the aeronautical industry, engineering industry, just get away from trucking. And every time I try to do that, either God or something brings me back to these dang trucks. So it's just an honor that we all 3 of the Pope children made David Pope's dreams come true, that all 3 of his kids have a BBA in some form. And I think that's awesome that he had a dream and we made it come true for him. It's just kind of an attention getter to make people laugh. We got a little dragonfly trying to escape the Roadrunner. Roadrunner's kicking up dust. He needs something to eat, man. He's been in the desert too long. He's probably dehydrated and hungry, and he's trying to catch him some food for the evening. CBRC Ranch, my dad's best friend in life was a man named Tommy Lee. Still a very close family friend. Still talk to him, his wife Tammy, their son Colton. They're just like family to us. We might as well have the same last name. And we wanted to pay homage to Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee spoke at my dad's funeral. They were extremely close. They were like brothers. And his ranch in Sulphur Springs, Texas is called CBRC. So on both sides of the mural and the ranch scenes that Von Otto painted, we made sure we put CBRC Ranch. That's my father and mother's wedding portrait. And May 17, 1989 is the day they got married, so that's their wedding anniversary. It's pretty special. Each side, the waterfall's a little bit different, Chris, but it's just kind of a beautiful symbolism to see how happy, passionate they were in that moment, in that time that they got married, kind of hidden in that waterfall. It's just a very, very peaceful image, and it gets a lot of good reactions from the crowd when they see it. In Texas, it's kind of a folklore that armadillos drink Lone Star beer. Lone Star beer is kind of famous, I guess, because they, quote unquote, invented the long neck bottle. And we just kind of want to put a twist on it. Dad, in his younger years, liked to drink Coors. We got the Smokey and the Bandit truck on this side. So just kind of tied in all together, like maybe Snowman passed him a Coors and he's pretty thirsty out there in the desert and needing something to drink. In the first row of 2 trucks are 2 of Bobby Whitfield's trucks. He was out of Caddo Mills. He had a lot of, I guess you could say, famous show contenders and winners in the late 80s. He was sponsored by Cummins. They had a new engine design that just came out called the 444. It was built to compete with the 4 1/4 Cat. It was geared towards owner-operators, and their slogan was "Custom Built for You." Bobby Whitfield had a vision, and he made that vision come to life with Vaughn Auto. So a lot of these trucks are Cummins-sponsored trucks. A lot of the murals have to do with Cummins. One of the trucks on this side, the blue one, it was called the Cummins CompuCheck truck. And if I'm not mistaken, CompuCheck was kind of a electronic program for Cummins. And so Vaughn Auto just woke up one night and said, we're kind of going to do a spaceship thing with this truck. So if you look at the blue truck over here, it's got a couple funny things, like, of course, it was geared towards Cummins, so it says, "Dear Kitty, Kitty" on the hood, kind of agonizing the caterpillars. It's got a bunch of Cummins brands in it. Just another great Vaughn Auto mural brought to life. The people in the stagecoach, we really kind of left them vague. They're just passengers just trying to get through the desert unharmed. And the people on the top of the stagecoach, the man whipping the trucks is myself, as Vaughn Auto said. And the guy riding with me, of course, is the outlaw country music legend Waylon Jennings. Dad was a big Waylon fan, so was myself and my mother. Kind of thought this kind of had an outlaw feel and theme to it, so what better to put an outlaw country music pioneer on. On the driver's side, Chris, we've got #1 dad, #1 husband, David Pope, a love without end, amen. On the passenger side, we've got David Pope, #1 husband, dad, our rock and our strength. This is kind of my mother's project. She always said you go through cemeteries and you wonder about people, what they stood for, who they were, and they're just a name on a rock. And she kind of sat down and designed a beautiful piece of marble for my father's headstone. And it says, David Pope, our rock and our strength, a love without end, amen, underneath it, loving father and husband. And he was just a great man. It's got a great expert from our Reverend Brother Roger Ratliff. Some of the words he spoke at my father's eulogy, he just spoke about, I can just see in my mind, David climbing above his 2011 God-built, it's blood red in the name of Christ, on the name of the, I'm just paraphrasing the best I can, on the name of the mud flaps, the Lion of Judah, and a bumper sticker on the back of the trailer that says, my boss is a Jewish carpenter. And as he turns the truck over and the smoke bellows out the stacks, David pulls through the gate of heavens and simply reads home.